Sometimes I lay awake at night and wonder, what would happen if visitors from outer space landed on Earth? Then I wonder what would happen if they landed in the US, or even Ohio. And I realized that at some point, Debbie from Akron would walk up to them with a ceremonial plate of her favorite scrambled eggs, and the aliens will be disappointed. To save the planet, I have decided to live in the United States, to thwart Debbie and her kind for invoking the end of times. It's all there in Revelations. But since I haven't read Revelations, it's not actually in Revelations. I am not worried, though, if they land in France or even in Russia. But if Debbie from Akron gets to them, we are through. I need to be here, ready, with my YouTube video, to get us prepared for that eventuality when they telepathically whisper to us and say that they haven't had breakfast since Jupiter and would like to see what we've got to eat. With no disrespect to Debbie or any Hotel Continental breakfast counter for that matter, we are not giving them our scrambled egg bullshit that has been fed to us by lazy-ass chefs and then replicated by innocent and unknowing followers. Keep this video safe in your prep bunker for when the time comes, and please enjoy my scrambled eggs of the third kind. The first kind of scrambled eggs you can make is to premix everything sort of omelet style, whipping it up into a frenzy and then frying it.
Don't eat.
This is the typical hotel breakfast scrambled eggs, and it will not do.
Don't do it.
It is weirdly puffy, like a whipped egg mousse, and the texture is all off. Plus, the yolks are all lost in the flavor, and the texture here is so bad we will denounce this as bad food.
Don't eat SpongeBob.
Science has shown that the people who enjoy these type of eggs typically enjoy the pattern on their dress to match the pattern on their couch at home. These are also the same people who like to use words like chutney, sconces, or can I talk to the manager at least once a week. They also manage to get at least one picture of their pudgy toes on their Facebook feed, whether baking in the sun, on their Caribbean cruise, or getting a pedicure from a victimized woman at the mall. Somehow we will see their feet. As you can see, I am not a fan of these scrambled eggs. Time to look at the next approach. The next is that you put your eggs into a pan and just start stirring them, also breaking the yolks and mashing it all up, and perhaps one extra person will find this acceptable. Not as whipped as the other one, but still wrong. And worse is that the burned yolks get off the pan into the plate and it's not delicious. These people at least try, and I think we've all been duped, so I cannot blame them for the effort. But here's the third kind of scrambled eggs that I ate growing up, and to prove that I'm legit, none of my clothes match my couch at home. And since I wear my wife's clothes, none of her clothes match the couch at home either. We eat the right kind of scrambled eggs. It's so simple, you will be the first in line to share it with the visiting beings when they arrive. Put butter in a pan and let it melt. Do not burn the butter. Once the butter is melted, take the pan off the heat or just quickly crack your eggs into it, but you've got to do it fast. Once your eggs are in, salt and pepper them, but do not touch anything until you see the whites firm up and become solid. It is then that you begin cutting chunks and squares off the whites, getting the rest of the whites to cook off to the side while your yolks are untouched. You want to get as close to the yolk as possible without breaking them, but do try to get that white layer peeled off the yolks by pulling from the sides. Just the whites on the side of the pan, and don't stop until all the runny bits have been cooked. Immediately after the white chunks have cooked thoroughly, take your yolks and put them into a bowl or a glass. You remove them from the pan. Some cultures actually eat eggs from a glass, so I've grown to love this, but you can do this in a bowl. And next put the whites in and then mix it all around. You should have this type of texture and consistency when you are done. Basically, the yolks are still liquid surrounding the chunks of whites, which give texture and flavor to your eggs. Nothing is burned and nothing is puffy and whipped up. Tonight, as you sit by your sconces after a nice meal that included chutney, you will think about waking up the next day making these marvelous eggs, and then perhaps going to talk to a manager at a Bed Bath & Beyond because the sale tag on a towel rack is in the wrong place. God help us all.